The following broadcast may contain explicit language and adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. The opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the hosts, talent, and guests, and do not reflect the opinions, views, and standards of Pyro Media Enterprises, affiliates, subsidiaries, or its members.
What's up, kings, queens, and the entire spectrum in between? It is your boy Kwame, and we are back with yet another episode of Kwame Speaks. First and foremost, I want to apologize for my delay. My entire computer my laptop just went kaput, okay? It just said, you know what? I'm taking a break. I don't know what you thought, but that's what happened. But I want to thank you guys for coming through. For those who are watching on the replay, gang, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I am so freaking excited right now because I have my sister from another mister, and I get to talk to her by myself because she usually comes on and guest speaks or is a special guest on Pyro Power Hour. So I'm just super happy that I get to get her all to myself, all to my lonesome. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just really excited because there's a lot to talk about because I have some phenomenal thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I have some phenomenal thoughts. And although I'm not a phenomenal woman, I am a phenomenal man, according to my sister. And I just cannot wait to talk to her. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, and the entire spectrum in between, my siblings, everybody la-da-da-da, please welcome to the stage, introducing the son, letting you guys remember for others, Tasha Champion. Hey, girl.
Oh my. Hello. I felt like that was an Oprah type introduction. I was like, oh, I am loved.
Yes, you are very much loved. And first of all, thank you so much for being on today. I know you are a busy, busy woman, so I truly appreciate you taking the time out to chat with me. For those who are just tuning in, please know that I'm looking down, not because I'm first of all, I'm just in awe of Tasha Champion's beauty, so I have to look down. You know, we can't look at the queen's eyes up at front. You know, you can't look it directly in the eyes. They're like geishas, you know what I'm saying? You can't look at them directly. You know what I mean? No, but my computer's down here. I'm not in my normal setup, so I'm in my chill setup, my chill spot. But Tasha, thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate you.
Listen, you know, I believe when Kwame calls, I answer.
Same. When Tasha calls, there's a lot of people. If you guys have watched the amazing show produced by Pyro Media Productions, She is Shenomenal, then you would know that all of her guests have said literally the same thing. When Tasha asks for something, there's no. You don't say no. When Tasha texts me, I have to take a deep breath because I'm like, what does she need? Because I'm gonna say yes. And it's okay. That's just where he's placed in my life.
Listen, then I'm gonna stop sending things with question marks and just, you know, send statements that have a period.
Right. Mm-hmm. Hey, Auntie, man, how you doing? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Yes. So Tasha, before we even get into all of the things phenomenal, let people know who you are, just in case they may not. You know, they may be living under a rock or, you know, not in the United States.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Kwame. I am Tasha Champion, 2-time best-selling author, visionary author of the #1 bestseller, Shenomenal Women, as well as the creator of the 12-week self-care journal, which is really important for all of you beautiful people to make sure you're caring for yourself. But I'm also known as the Shenomenal Coach, and I facilitate workshops, put on events, which we'll talk about, but I also help women who make decisions through their pain and their hurt. I help them take back their power so that they can stop repeating the same patterns that leave them in that pain, and they can really step into their purpose, their dreams, their desires for themselves, guilt-free. Because women, we have this vision of what we want, but then we feel guilty when we are, wives or moms or CEOs or whatever. We have this guilt. So I help women go, no, I don't have to be guilty. I get to live in my purpose and be the phenomenal woman I was born to be.
Yeah. And where did you come up with Shenomenal?
So Shenomenal started when I had my very first event in 2017, and a friend of one of my speakers, who also has a show coming up with Pyro, her friend said, "Oh my God, this was such an amazing event. So many phenomenal, speakers." And the word just really grabbed my heart. And that was in 2017. And I didn't know, like 3 years later, God would put it in my spirit to use that to create my book. And then my trademark attorneys were like, I think that that's your brand. This is who you are. And when I thought about it, it really embodied everything that I do, everything that I strive for, everything that I want to be, the legacy that I want to leave. Shenomenal embodies that. And I just want every woman to experience that.
Yeah. And what I love about you, Tasha, is you really value relationship. You take the time to really think about not what one can do for you, but what you guys what the partnership would look like. And I think one of the really dope things that I have noticed, especially in our growth in our relationship and our sister brother relationship, is you look at, okay, these are my flaws, these are his flaws, and these are things that I'm choosing to work through with this person because I value relationship. I value this person. And it's beyond what the person can do for you. You actually take the time. It's almost like what you're supposed to do in intimate relationships, right? It's almost like what you're supposed to do in that. Because I think one of the things that people forget is that there's more into partnership than there is just about what you can do for them or what they can do for you. You really value, and I keep using the word value because that's what's dropping into my spirit, is you really value growth and the growth of the relationship. So tell me, how has that helped you in your networking? Because let me tell you something. I'm taking off my glasses. For people who follow me, you know what that means. Let me tell you something about Tasha. She is one, and I have been working in marketing and brand strategy for over 10 years. And there is something about Tasha's networking skills almost second to none. Like there is almost second to none. Like if I need something, I'm like, hey, Tasha, I need this. Oh, I got you. She opens up her little black book and calls somebody. I'm like, you know you need a plumber? Call Tasha. You need a graphic designer? Call Tasha. You need a media expert? Call Tasha. Oh, you need somebody to do your hair? Call Tasha. So you know how people go on Facebook and they used to just say, hey, I'm in need of such and such. I don't need to do that. I just call Tasha.
Yes.
The same.
You are hilarious. So yes, like I connect champions to champions. Let's put it like that. And I know that you said, I open my black book. Let me be very clear. I open my Android. Okay.
Ooh,
so
yeah, everybody can't be perfect, y'all. Internal conversation. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Very internal, but I just had to make that mention. I learned a long time ago, and I think this also has to do with the fact that I didn't know how to allow myself to be supported because I didn't feel supported as a child, and that followed me throughout adulthood for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So when people would ask if they could help me, or if people would ask if they could do something, my default was, no, I got it. And I would start connecting other people to other people instead of just letting myself be that connection. But what I started to see is like everybody would come back to me and be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you referred this person, or I'm so glad you connected us because now I'm doing this or I'm doing that. And what I started to see the most is that it was never just one thing. These people continue to work with each other. And I think just in life, there is enough of this world to go around to each of us 2 and 3 times over. And the way that we can really step into the power of who we are is really to make those connections for other people. Because if I refer you to someone, it doesn't mean that now I'm not going to get something out of it. It doesn't mean that I need to get something out of it. It doesn't mean that I like somebody else less because this is who I referred. It just means, hey, we can all win. So if you need something, I got it. If I have something, you can have it. And I tell people all the time, like, pay attention, like, vocalize the things that you can do, your gifts, your talents. And I'm going to share this really quick. When I was in my younger days, when I was singing, I was braiding someone's hair and she heard me on the phone making arrangements for a rehearsal or something. She said, what do you do? And I said, oh, I sing, I have a group. She said, sing something for me. And I did. And lo and behold, her husband was like a legend in hip hop. And so it's like, don't be afraid of your gifts. Even if you don't know how your gifts are going to serve you or going to work, you don't know who needs you. But because God, universe, whatever you call your higher power, because you are gifted with something, it is to be used during this time of your life. It's to be used on this earth. So use your gifts so that people can refer you, so people can make those connections. It's such a beautiful thing to connect two people that can work together.
I love that, Tasha. One of the things that I tell my clients and I tell people is your gifts are not meant to be they're not meant to stay wrapped, right? The gifts are to be opened, right? We wrap them, we spend our time wrapping them, but the exciting part is it needs to be opened. That's the fun part of having a gift or giving a gift to someone. And so when I look at my gifts and my skills and things of that nature, I look at it as something that it's not meant to be. God didn't give them to me for me to just keep them like, oh, that's pretty. I'm just going to keep them on the shelf. That looks cute over there.
Yes.
It matches the decor, the aesthetic, if you will, and that's not necessarily okay. That's not good. Yes, we should cultivate our gifts. We should know when to hold it and when to fold it. Something my dad always say. But at the end of the day, we should know that they're not meant to stay on the shelf. They're not meant to stay wrapped. And so I love that you said that.
It's so secretive. Like, listen, you have two hands. One must be open to receive the blessing, and the other one must be open to give the blessing, right? So there's always this reciprocated blessing if you just pour out and give. Make those connections. Do not think that you are not going to have because you gave. When you give, you're just really multiplying what's coming to you.
Yeah. And it's funny that I don't know why I think I have an idea why I dropped in my spirit this morning for Pyro Power Hour, but I was talking about like letting things go, and how like when we hold things in our hand, and we can have a whole bunch of things in our hand or whatever, but we're not able to receive anything because we have something in our hand. So how are we supposed to receive the gifts of God, if we have our hands full? And so that's similar to what you're saying in terms of if we don't allow ourselves to give and to provide, we're keeping the things in our hand. That gift is kept in our hand and we're not sharing it with others. And so we don't have anything to replenish our hands. Let's see. Hey, Sean, thank you for joining. Appreciate you, Queen.
Hello.
I want to get into a little Shenomenal thought here. Real quick, I like my little slides here. Who's that beautiful woman? That's Shenomenal Coach here. And I want to talk about the importance of building community with women. Now, I've specifically had a Kwame Speaks episode with Thais Jackson, who I think is a phenomenal community builder. And we talked about the importance of building community on YouTube and social media. But I've noticed something within the overall conference world and community building world, that women, to me, and this is my personal opinion, I don't have any facts or statistics, but in my personal opinion, I've seen more successful women's conferences and women's gatherings, and it's easier. It seems to be easier for women to gather and to build safe spaces than men. Specifically in Black communities. I've noticed that Black women have no issues getting together for brunch, having no issues having a book club. I have not heard of an all-male book club. If there is one, I would like to join. So shout out to those who have all-male book clubs. But I have not seen that one, and it's discouraging because, you know, I think there's a lot that goes into that. I think women have an innate ability to connect. I think they have a nurturing ability, an innate ability to nurture regardless of whatever stereotypes or boundaries or societal norms that we try to put onto things. They just seem to connect really well. So my question to you is, have you noticed the same thing? Is it easier for you? And I say easier, not necessarily in the logistics portion, but easier to gather women, to connect with women than you would see with spaces with men?
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer. Women are going to get together. You know, women want to learn. They want to be better. And in these last like 15, 20 years, women are really owning their own power, their own femininity, their own bodies, their own minds, their own thoughts. And so how do you expand and grow that? You have to get with, you know, other women that are doing the same thing. You have to be around other people in order to learn and to grow from them. Like, you know, the saying is, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to be in another room, right? Because it's so important. Like, we have to come together. If you want to learn, grow, expand, whatever it is in your life, you don't learn how to become a mother by having a baby. You learn how to become a mother from other mothers. You don't learn how to run a business by getting an LLC. You learn how to run a business by getting around other CEOs, right? So it's that same thing. So what we do as women, yes, we put on these empowerment events. We start book clubs. And sometimes that space is honestly, Kwame, don't be offended. It's because we want to get away from the men sometimes and just let it be that feminine, beautiful energy. Because see, men are the container and women are the nurturers inside of that. And sometimes we don't want to be in the building phase of everybody else. We just want to be ourselves. And that's where those empowerment groups come in, because you get together, you learn, you laugh, you cry, you walk away feeling empowered. You walk away with action steps of what you can do to be a better person, to be a better mom, a better sister, whatever it is. But truthfully, when we are out here building community, we're making a difference for what we want to be the next generation. We're making a difference within ourselves. And it's so important. It's so incredibly important.
I agree, I'm glad you touched on that, because this queen right here has a specific event. Speaking of the third annual Shenomenal Brunch of 2023, I'm super excited. Pyro Media is a sponsor. Shout out to Pyro Media Network. But also, one of the really dope things about this event is I went to your second annual Shenomenal Brunch, and I have to say I was extremely impressed. And I don't normally get impressed by events, because I go to a lot of different events and I'm like, oh, that's cute for Disney. You know what I'm saying? But this was a really dope event. And I say that because there's spaces where you feel like, okay, you go to these empowerment conferences and you go to these, award ceremonies, and they're like, they overly talk, and they just talk sometimes about nothing, right? Because they just want to sound cute. They want to have their Yana Van Zant moment, right? But this particular, seriously, that's how I feel. Everybody's trying to be a Yana Van Zant when instead of just being authentically them, right? But I really enjoyed your event because and it's funny because I was talking to Thais Jackson. Well, actually, he brought it up on a couple of weeks ago on his live about everybody wanting to have an Ayala Vanzant moment, but nobody is actually having a lived experience, basically, right? And so that's what I really enjoyed about your event, because these are people that had these lived experiences that were talking about what they went through. So they had a different type of passion, they had a different type of connection, and the food was good.
Let me tell you something. I really have pretty much outgrown that space, but baby, that chef, he is getting all Tasha Champion events right now because
all the kudos. Yes, but definitely
limited mimosas. I mean it. Oh gosh,
honey.
Yes.
Now, if you guys want to support, because I don't think you have any more tickets left, correct?
So I ended up adding one more table.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So officially, I do have 6 seats left.
Yeah, listen, if you're in the San Bernardino area or know somebody in the San Bernardino area, Shenomenal person are all invited. But if you do not get your hands on these tickets,
let me tell you. Even if you are in, because I have people that come as far as San Diego, I have people that come from Canyon Country, I have people that come from Orange County, I have people that come from the high desert. So wherever you are, if you know, like, you know what, I just need a moment to network with people. I need a moment to just have my spirit fed. See, we all eat every day. We're getting our bellies fed, but is your spirit and your soul being fed?
Yes.
And this is a great place to do it. You will leave exceptionally full. That I can assure you. You will leave with your spirit being full, your bellies being full, your soul being full. And if you have a business and you want to sponsor or you want to place an ad, reach out to me. Like, let's make a connection together to get your business out in front of the 100 people that'll be sitting in this room.
Yeah. It is an experience that is, to say the least. I truly enjoyed myself. I truly felt like I gained a lot, and I can't even imagine. And it's. We say that Shenomenal women are invited, and Shenomenal men are invited. But the truth is, it is for women, and I think it benefits. So if I got benefited, I know that women are going to have. I saw nothing but smiles. I did not. I don't even think that there was anybody that complained, or there was no. You know how you go to events and with us, and there's always a fight. It's not that type of. It's not that. It's not the Source Awards event, okay?
Because I'm very particular. I'm very particular. I open the door to all, but I do expect a level of maturity, responsibility. I expect a level of community. And I expect a level of integrity. And so between my guests, my speakers, my vendors, like, everybody is on that same page, because other than that, you cannot be in the room or you'll never be invited back. I really like for people to come together where they feel safe. They can be safe physically, they can be safe emotionally, they can be safe in their vulnerability. And that's the space that I work hard to create. And I'm so proud of the people that back me and support me, because they understand that too. And so we get them all in there and you have a good time.
And one of the things that I have to say this before, because we do got to go to commercial soon.
Okay.
One of the things that I enjoyed is when you go to certain spaces. Like, I've been to really prestigious award ceremonies. I've been to really prestigious events, and you always feel like if you don't know somebody, then you have to stay with your clique or your crew or your people or whoever you went with. I loved that I got to interact with everyone, and nobody made me feel like I'm like, oh, who's he? It was like I got to. I think there was like a very small percentage. I probably would say 1% of people that I don't think I got to have an in-depth conversation with, and that was really dope to me, and I really enjoyed that. But I want to, before we go to commercial, I wanted to let everybody know that if you want to support the Shenomenal brunch in any type of way, whether it be monetary, whether you want ad space, whether you just want to figure out if you want to volunteer, you can go over to Shenomenal.com, get in contact with Tasha's team, and they will help you out and see how you can support this particular event. I know we talk about it every time on Pyro Power Hour, but I want to make sure that I throw this out and create some space so you guys can know a little bit more about this particular event. So please go over to Shenomenal.com/brunch23 if you want to get some tickets, or just go directly to Shenomenal.com to find out how you can help in any way, shape, or form.
Thank you.
No problem, of course. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to get into some deep dive questions with
Let's go.
Yes. All right, we'll be right back. Stay tuned, you guys.
This episode is sponsored in part by Bullet and Flight Radio. Get ready to uplift your spirit with Bullet and Flight Radio, the world's leading progressive Christian radio station. Experience the vibrant fusion of gospel house music and a rich medley of inspiration from all musical genres that'll make your heart soar. Join their extraordinary lineup of today's trailblazers, visionaries, and voices that matter, all sharing their stories and wisdom. Stay plugged in around the clock as they broadcast unmissable content 24/7. Your go-to station for all things inspiring. Become a pilot today by visiting bulletandflightradio.com. Bullet and Flight Radio. Your story, our station.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are just tuning in, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe right on here on Pyro Media Network. You can check out all of the awesome, dope content on Pyro Media Network, to include Shenomenal.
Yes. I like that. I love that show.
That show is really good. You know, I heard that there's a really gorgeous light skin. She don't think she light skin, but she is light skin girl on there. Her name is Tasha Champion. Do you know her?
I'm familiar.
Oh, okay, good. She's cool people. Hey, Kimberly, Natasha, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I saw you popping earlier. I meant to send you a little wave over there. I hope you heard, or saw rather. But yes, thank you for tuning in. Okay, so I feel like Rana White when I do this.
Right. You do it well.
Shenomenal Woman. This book here. Now, I have a reputation to maintain, so I'm not going to explain to you the tears that may or may not have fallen on said skint. Okay, but I have questions, Miss Champion.
I have answers.
Did you decide that you said, okay, let me take all of the emotional stories that could possibly make people cry and put it all in one book?
So, no. Honestly, I allowed my co-authors to decide what they wanted to share and talk about. I didn't do prearranged meetings or anything. If you watch my show, I don't do prearranged questions. I like the authenticity. I like the genuineness of things. And so when God gave me this, it was really about bringing these stories to light, but allowing each co-author to decide what story, because we all have a million stories within our own life, right? But
Yeah.
it was important, like, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to share? What obstacles have you overcome? And
Yeah.
for a lot of those women, I'm talking like they gave you just like a penny of the 100 that they've actually gone through, of things they've
Yeah.
gone through. So it wasn't about tears or emotions. It was about truth.
Yeah.
It was about creating a tool book that women could walk away with and say, okay, this person went through this, and this is how she got through it. How can I apply some of those actions to my life and maybe get through what I'm going through right now? And
Yeah.
yes, I cried a whole lot. Because remember, I had the manuscript, so I'm reading it all the time, and then I get the book in my hand. So I cried a lot, and some of these co-authors I knew, and I still did not know the depths of some of their stories, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
What compels you to be that authentic, right? Because you know, in our community, it's you know, whatever happens in the house stays in the house, right? That horrible soul tie, that horrible stronghold that is generational, right? What happens in the house stay in the house, baby. We don't talk about our business to the white folk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what compels you to be so authentic, so and surround yourselves with other authentic women, and not feel scared, or you know that you're going to be judged, or what have you? What compels you to go forward?
Because I was once hiding.
Mm,
That's the best way I can describe it. I was hiding. I
yeah.
was that person that walked around with like the biggest smile and the biggest energy, the same way you see me now. Like
Yeah.
I was like that. However, on the inside, I was like drenched in tears and trying to figure out my life, feeling like I was so behind the mark, feeling like nobody would understand, because when I tried to reach out to people to say I needed help, I got
Yeah.
shot down. So then I went further into silence. So really it was what compels me is, if I can stand in my truth, I give another woman permission to stand in hers and to know that she's not by herself, to
Yeah.
know that we will physically hold your hand or we will virtually hold your hand, but we got you.
Yeah.
We got you, period.
Yeah. And I think that needs to be kind of cultivated within the Black community as a whole. You know, I think that really that village type mentality, for some reason, we know what it is, but we're not that's it's not that this is not that type of show where I'm gonna break it down on why we don't have that village type of mentality, or how it was stripped from us.
Right.
But that's a whole nother conversation, right, Tasha? But I think it's beautiful that you started that process. You know what I'm saying? At least you're starting the process with women and the women that you interact with. I saw your first of all, happy Mother's Day. I know it's
Thank
belated,
you.
but I
Thank
saw
you.
a beautiful picture of you and your mom and Destiny, your daughter, who is one of my favorite humans on earth. I just saw, I was like, wow, look at that. I love seeing generational, like generations, and generational pictures. Like it, seeing the different phases of generations. You know, you see the grandmother, you see the mother, you see the daughter. It was just so, I love seeing that. I saw a Instagram yesterday of 6 generations of women.
Oh, wow.
It's super dope. Like that was something, because that's not really often heard
Yeah.
of.
Mm-mm.
Seeing a Black generational, or 6 generations of Black women, was absolutely amazing to me. But I say all of that because this is something that is going to go into um, go into history, right? This is something you built a legacy, and
Yes.
it's going to travel on to destiny and to Destiny's children and Destiny's children and destiny. It's going to be destiny, you know, Destiny's child, you know? But it's going to pass on. And then your co-authors are going to be able to pass this on to their daughters and their daughters' daughters and their daughters' daughters. And I just
Right.
love how you started the ripple effect. And so I commend you on this. I honor you for this, and I can't even. I want to give you guys a little bit of an excerpt, just to read the back cover of it. Women put a smile on their faces and brave through their everyday lives. Some are living with and holding on to hurt and pain caused by heartbreak, molestation, abandonment, and poor decision making, never having learned the tools to heal. Many women carry the shame and embarrassment, keeping them locked inside of their traumatic experiences. So, Shenomenal women, women who gave up excuses and made a way through lives, most challenging times, brings 23 phenomenal stories of triumph and victories. The women who shared their experiences with transparency in this book were once where you may be, making a decision that their life needed a change. They each had to embark on their own healing journey, confronting past choices that kept them in a circle of hurt and disappointment. Through their power to overcome obstacles, the essence of who they always were was still beautiful, encapsulated by their spirit and faith. First of all, I couldn't have read that. I mean, my God, that, if y'all don't want to get this book, I don't know what to tell y'all, girl. Like, that was everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I do not think that you have to be a woman to read this book. I've read, and I don't think it's, to be the way I've been reading it, I skipped around. And so I don't think you have to read it all the way through, like completely from cover to cover, right? You can skip around to different stories, correct? Yeah, so I skipped around to different stories, and it's just been, I've read Mika Morris's story. I've read Mina London. Oh my God, Mina London was good. I read Tasha's story, LaToya Elliott. I marked Erin Kelly. She took me on a roller coaster. Like, she took me out. And that's when I see you, Erin, we're gonna have a conversation about making me cry in the middle of the night. Okay, Carol Swanson. Oh my God, that one hit me. I can't even get into it, y'all. I can't even get into it. Yes,
but it was the honesty.
Yeah, honesty.
It was honesty. Thank you, Natasha. I'm sorry, I went straight to the Tasha part. Thank you, Kimberly.
I get it. No, but tell me a little bit about why you created this book.
I created that book, the journal. It's a 12-week journal of self-care, because ideally, women want to have self-care time, but most of us don't fit it into our day-to-day life. We just make self-care arrangements. So we'll say, like, oh, I'm going to go get my hair and my nails done, right? Yeah. But that's every couple of weeks. But what about your everyday? There are 7 days in a week.
Yes.
So at some point, you have to pause and take a moment to bring in self-care into your everyday, so that when those pockets of life really get hard, you're not so caught off guard on what to do because you've been checking in. A friend of mine that's actually Shirley the Jewel, she's going to be one of the speakers at the brunch. She says, we got to check in before we check out. Okay. Yeah. So understanding self-care is your way to check in. You got to check in with you. So this journal really gives you the opportunity to acknowledge how you are feeling, what caused that feeling, what are you doing day to day, how are you processing, what are some things that you can journal about to get more of your thoughts out, what are you grateful for. So there's these different steps. And it's not about like, oh, I got to sit down and do this journal for 30 minutes today. It's not about that. It's about just take a moment to check in with you. You are the most important person in this world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if you can't make sure that you good to go, how you gonna help anybody else?
No, you
In the
can't.
words of Mother RuPaul, if you don't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love anybody else? Can I
Right.
get an amen? Amen. Yes.
Hallelujah. And understand for the moms out there,
Mhm.
because we think, hey Talicia, we think that we are like putting on this brave face for our kids and that they can't see what we're experiencing.
Mhm.
A kid may not be able to verbalize it to you, but they can definitely feel when
Mhm.
you're off. They can feel when
Yeah.
things are wrong. They just may not say anything, but kids can feel it. So the
Yeah.
way that you're going to have to counteract that is really get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Really love on yourself so that you can show your kids that it's okay for them to love on themselves too.
Yeah, yeah, and I just really quickly, not to divert, but I wanted to shout out Camille, who just debuted her show on Pyro Media Network called Camille Over Chai. So definitely head over to Pyro Media Network's YouTube to go ahead and watch the replay on that. I'm so unbelievably proud of her, and I cannot wait to see how her show continues to soar and blow up. And
She's
then also,
dope.
yeah, she's amazing.
She's so
And
dope.
shout out to you, Patrice. Thank you for joining in tonight. I appreciate you. That is a queen right there, right there. I love that girl.
Hello, Catrice.
Patrice is everything. And so yeah, so I thank you for this because I think that's part of the reason I'm not shameless plug. I'm about to get into a shameless plug in a second. But for those who do not know, I do have a candle care line, candle line. And it was actually started out of the fact that I did not understand how to really properly take care of myself, right? To really have self-care. And I think having self-care is super important. So if you want, you can go over to head over to luxnoir.com. We have a huge sale going on right now. So definitely check. Excuse me. There's a sale on the Luxe collection. So those are our premium candles. You can go ahead and check them out. And there's also the few that is left for A Mother's Love, which is our Mother's Day seasonal limited edition candle. Please go ahead and grab them while you can, because there's not many left. So go ahead and grab those. But all of that was inspired about self-care. So when you go on Amazon and you grab your Shenomenal books, or you can go over to shenomenal.com and grab your Shenomenal books. You can also grab a candle to read, these books and actually have some intentional time. Praise God.
Yes, absolutely. Let me ask you, when you're making your candles, are you just kind of in this Zen space of creativity and flow?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's part of your self-care. Like
Yes.
people need to understand that a lot of times it's your creativity that's part of your self-care.
Yes. And it's fun. It's funny because a lot of people have asked me, and I got this from Shonda Rhimes's what is the name of that book? I think it's A Year of Yes.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, phenomenal book.
It
And
is.
I just really, there was something that she said in there that I never knew what to call it. But when I'm editing, or if I'm choreographing, or if I'm making candles, that state of creativity, hey Cupcake, how you doing, boo? Thank you for joining. That state of creativity, I did not know what to call it. I always called it my Zen mode, or I'm on a roll, or whatever, but she called it your flow. And I thought that was the perfect thing to call it, because that's exactly what's happening. It's a constant stream of
Yes.
flowing creativity that's going on, and it doesn't feel like work.
Mm-mm.
It
Mm-mm.
doesn't feel like work. And now when I'm done, because I'm standing on my feet the entire time making dang on candy, my back hurts. Okay,
You're like, oh, I was working.
right? I was
In
working.
my flow.
I was wondering about my lower back. I need to do some more squats. Those kind of things.
You get on my nerves.
Right. But at the end of the day, I think we forget that, because there's people that go out there and they just want to work because they're trying to accomplish or run away from something, or they're trying to keep their mind off of things. And there's a difference between working and being in the flow.
Right.
And so when you're doing something that you love, it doesn't feel like work. Go ahead.
No.
I'm sorry.
So I think more times than not, people who work, they're really in survival mode and they don't know anything outside of that. So they stay in that mode until they experience or they come to the brunch and they learn something different, right? Because once you learn different, you do different. You don't have a choice because then you can't say I didn't know.
You can't. You can't go back.
Mm-mm.
You can't go back to it. You could try, but it's just not helpful.
Exactly. It's like learning the lyrics of a song when you've been saying the wrong lyrics the whole time, and then you learn the lyrics. And I'm not going to give you guys my example, but once you learn the real lyrics of something, that's when you're like, oh, you don't go back and keep saying it the other way. You say it the way you do
What
now.
is the example, Tasha? What do you mean? Can you give us an example of what you mean?
I'll give you an example.
Sure.
My children were in the car. It was a day off of school. I think my sons were about, I don't know, 7 and 8. And I'm driving, and all I hear in the back is, "'Cause you can feel her at night." And I was like, what are y'all singing? Because I'm thinking I'm about to go to jail. And I'm like, wait, what are you singing? And they was like, Michael Jackson. I was like, pull the car over. Y'all are going to learn the lyrics to Thriller. Not because you can feel her at night. But this is Thriller. So once they learn the lyrics, they can't go back.
You can't
say the wrong things again. So when you learn something, I see Cupcake laughing at my poor children. Yeah. But that's the way that life is. Once you've been awakened to know something, you can't go back.
No, you
can't
can't
give yourself the excuse that I didn't know.
No. Now, do you want to give us another example? Maybe one that's closer to home? No?
Okay. Oh my gosh, because apparently we're not going to get to the top of the hour without Kwame explaining this. So,
just want to know.
Life Jennings' Must Be Nice song, when that came out, that was like my jam. That's one of the realest CDs ever. So I'm in the car with my cousin and I'm singing Must Be Nice. Now, my lyrics was, even when your arms and legs are gone, she'll be by your side, still holding on. And my cousin said, what did you say? And in sheer confidence, I repeated what I said because I was like, there's so much love. Like when your arms and legs are gone, she's still going to be by your side. Like that's some hell of a love. Like, yes, that must be nice. So my cousin, in his 5-minute laughter, told me that he was saying when your hustling days are gone. So I can know, yes, Cupcake, yes. Listen, I cannot make this stuff up. I literally thought that's what he was saying. And to me, it just flowed. But
not you trying to like confidently talk about how like, yeah, that's what, because you know the stars aligned and that's why it said with it. You really had a whole
yes. It made sense to me. I was like, and to me, I was like, wow, that's a hell of a way to write it. But I thought that was like, I was just like, wow, like he really went there. But if you say it must be nice, like to have this kind of love, I guess so. But to my point of what I was talking about, once you learn better, you do better.
You do. For all of those out there with no arms and legs, we still here for you. You know what I'm saying? If you have somebody that you love, that's a way to love. You know, when you don't have arms and legs, you still love them.
Talicia says she's still, in caps, justifying her role.
Like justify. That's what I was saying, Camille. Like I was like, you still holding on to it. Like you knew you did wrong, but you still holding on to the fact that you know what. But there's a reason why I was wrong. It's okay, boo.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Do you have, like, first of all, I know that they can find you on Pyro Media Network, but how can they find you directly and all of the other things that you do as far as it pertains to the Shenomenal Coach? And why do they call you the Shenomenal Coach?
Oh, they call me the Shenomenal Coach because I am all about women empowerment. Now, I don't leave men behind, of course. Here's a little bit of secret for those that want to know this. I am working to create a full male conference. There will be absolutely no women allowed. It is going to be all men. all men. Okay.
Exclusive.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Thank you, Cupcake. I feel supported. I feel real supported right now.
Okay, don't try to entertain that. We're going back to the Shenomenal Coach who missed out these
Yes.
lyrics. Go on.
But I am all things Shenomenal, all things women empowerment. And her is to heal, evolve, and renew, whether that's renewing your soul, renewing your spirit, renewing your energy, whatever it is. But I'm here to help women just live your best life. Maybe you need a little bit of something, maybe you need a lot of something. Whatever it is, I am here to get you off that roller coaster of pain where you are making decisions from your pain. You're repeating these pain patterns and it's got you stuck. You're living a life that you're trying to desperately get out of. It takes one call, and we're going to talk about it all. Okay. So that is why they call me the Shenomenal Coach. So you can find me on Instagram at the Shenomenal Coach. On Facebook, it's Tasha Champion Champion. On YouTube, it's the Shenomenal Coach. As well as, with Pyro Media, of course, you can find me at Tasha Champion. I have She is Shenomenal, which is my weekly show, as well as Weekly Inspiration with Tasha Tuesday, where I just give you a couple of minutes of inspiration, sometimes some thought-provoking questions. And of course, if you want to know all things Shenomenal, please go to shenomenal.com. You can order the book. You can get your ticket to the brunch. You can find out about my upcoming retreat and anything that I'm doing. I always add it there. And if you're on my email list, you know about it first.
Yes. Oh, I completely forgot about the retreat. I'm so sorry. I was so hyped about the brunch.
You're ready to eat. That's why. Because you can come to the brunch. You can't come to the retreat. That's why you're excited about the retreat.
Listen, I'll figure out a way. I'll stow away in that dang on suitcase of yours. Okay, I'll wear a wig, honey. Don't play
right.
around. Thank you, Cupcake. I appreciate you. Cupcake is one of our recent new moderators on the Pyro Media YouTube. So thank you.
Oh, well, hello. Shenomenal with the E instead of an I, please.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Shenomenal. It's SENOMENAL. Yes. Mm-hmm. So shout out to the Shenomenal Coach. And so I want to really talk really quickly while you're on here. We have a couple of minutes left. Tell us a little bit about the retreat, what it is, and why it's in existence. All good, Cupcake. You good?
Yes, you're wonderful. Thank you so much. So the retreat, this is actually going to be the first annual, so the inaugural Shenomenal Women's Retreat. We are bringing women together for a beautiful 3 days and 2 nights in a beautiful home in Palm Springs, California. We have some incredible facilitators that's going to be leading you through some different workshops. We have our very own now Pyro Media Network star, Sherelle Edie, Chef Sherelle. She is going to be the cook for a very beautiful dinner that we will be having. But the Shenomenal Women's Retreat is going to be about nourishing your soul in truth. Okay. What is it that your soul is calling for? What is it that your soul is asking of you? And how do you do that in your own truth, not based on what somebody else thought? So when you walk into this retreat home, you will be relieved of all of your titles. You are not mom, you're not sister, you're not coworker, you're not CEO, you're not daughter, you're not wife. You are the woman that is showing up, and that is it. Some of us are so ingrained with our titles that we sometimes just forget who we are. And so we're going to tap into our own truth and have a beautiful day. There'll be swimming, there's jacuzzi, like I said, delicious food. So you're going to learn, you're going to walk away, but you are also going to be filled, and you're going to leave there knowing and activating your own truth.
Yes, I love that. See, I can wear a wig. I'll be Kwame. I'll be in the corner. I won't say nothing.
This is what I'm not gonna do. Hey, meet the Whitakers.
I appreciate you. All right, so thank you so much, Tasha, for taking the time out. I wish we could talk for hours. We do talk for hours a lot.
We do talk.
So this is not nothing new for me. But thank you so much for taking the time out to talk about your brand, to talk about why you're just phenomenal to me, and I just appreciate all of the work that you're doing for not only the women in the San Bernardino area, but for women around the world. Because I've talked to a lot of different people who have interacted with you, and they speak nothing but high remarks for you and all of the work and the impact that you've had on their life. So thank you for all you're doing. Continue to glow up. Continue to allow space for these amazing queens to kind of cultivate under you, and keep us along on the journey. You know what I'm saying? I would love to document it. Praise God.
Yeah, listen, that's why I'm here with Pyro. Yes, yeah, yes.
No worries. You can always watch the replay. It was a really good episode. I think you two will enjoy it. Definitely check them out. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been another. This one has been a phenomenal episode. You know what I'm saying?
With a phenomenal host.
With a phenomenal host. Thank you, Tasha. Don't forget to check out the Shenomenal Woman, and also I Am a Shenomenal Woman, the planner and journal, the self-care journal, and you guys can get that all on Amazon, or you can go directly to shenomenal.com for all of your wonderful needs. Thank you guys for tuning in, for rocking out with us. We'll be back here next week at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And stay tuned because the Walt Week Connection is coming right up right here on Pyro Media Network. And it's starting at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. And stay tuned. We love you guys. Thank you guys. Let's see. Cupcake says, you'll understand when you watch the replay. Yes.
Like, she's going to make sure everybody know about that.
All right, you guys. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Creative Day.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Bye, guys.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Pyro Media Network's YouTube channel for more awesome content. Plus, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live or upload new videos. Visit pyromedianetwork.com today, not just to check out our incredible roster of talented creatives, but also to gain access to exclusive bonus material available only to our Pyro fam. Show your support for this Black-owned indie network by donating today. Help us keep igniting brands everywhere.